Hi, I'm Karen Knutson, the Executive Director of the Clark Fork Coalition. The Clark Fork Coalition is a group that protects and restores the Clark Fork River Basin. Now you might ask, why do we exist? Why? Well, the Clark Fork Coalition exists because we believe that the Clark Fork watershed needs cleaner water and healthier rivers, that the people, fish, and wildlife of this area need clean water. And so we're that group. We're that voice. Clean water, healthy rivers. We got started back in 1985 when a local pulp mill wanted to increase its pollution into the river. And at that time, the river had been running red for decades, and people were already starting to think, this is not the way we treat rivers. Something must be done. So a group of citizens got together and decided, rather than protesting, rather than flat out opposing, let's sit down with those who are running the pulp mill and find out what the problem is. And so we were eventually able to work with state regulators and with the local pulp mill owners to hammer out a solution that was a win-win for the mill and a win-win for the river. The Clark Fork Coalition's work is important because clean water and healthy rivers are central to everything that we care about in Montana and the West. Clean water is needed for life. Clean water supplies drinking water for towns. It also provides fish and wildlife habitat. It provides swimming holes for kids and water for crops. So elementally, clean water is what life is about, and that's what the Clark Fork Coalition is about. After the Clark Fork Coalition got its start in 1985, we decided to look around at some of the other major pollution sources and stressors to the river system. And the biggest one, mining waste. Legacy mining waste from 150 years of mining and smelting in the Clark Fork River's headwaters. So that was an area where the Clark Fork Coalition rolled up its sleeves and went to work next. And we've had huge impact. We found that there was contaminated sediments behind a dam that was causing drinking water wells to be contaminated. So we zeroed in on that problem and were able to get that dam removed and get the toxic sediments cleaned up. Also, the headwaters creek of the Clark Fork, Silverbow Creek, that was completely devoid of life. It was a sterile creek. It did not support bugs. It did not support fish. That is not a proper headwaters for a major river system. So again, we brought science and politics and education to bear there, and we're able to hammer out a solution that has that creek now flowing with clean, cold, healthy water, and it's packed with fish. What we've discovered at the Clark Fork Coalition is that the river needs all of us. It needs us to work together. So we have absolutely no qualms about sitting down and talking with those who perhaps have been responsible for the pollution. We understand that it's a complex world, but we all need to work together to figure out a solution that works for the river and for our communities. Many threats remain, but it's also an exciting time of possibility. We invite you to join the Clark Fork Coalition in one of the greatest river restoration stories in the world. Help us create a clean, healthy, and resilient Clark Fork that will sustain people and wildlife for generations to come. Thank you.